So I'm on here today in a little different area than my bathroom. Nothing special, but I have gotten so many questions on my hair. So I'm going to attempt to do a hair tutorial. We will see how this turns out. So bear with me. So my hair is washed and clean today. My hair is naturally curly, so when I blow dried it today, not only do I put product in my hair after after I comb it through wet, I use a heat protectant, I use a volume boost, and I also use like a thickening. There's thickening creams, thickening sprays. I use all those because I have really fine hair. I have a lot of hair, but it's fine, and I don't get a lot of volume. Also, before I did this hair tutorial, I had my hair up, so that helps me create a little bit of volume too. And also, I usually spray a dry shampoo in it. That gives me some extra volume as well. So that's what I did, and now we're gonna get on with it. So I divide up my hair. I usually take this top part here, and I don't know, I'm gonna try to do this in the camera, but also looking in my mirror behind me. This comb right here, I'm gonna start again. This comb right here I think works really good for getting like a good division, because I'm not good at separating my hair. I don't know about the rest of you, but I find that I'm always getting these like random pieces that they should be in another section. So I take this little bit of hair and I keep this hair separate with one of these little clippies, these like alligator clippies. Then we're gonna go down to here. These earrings may have been the wrong choice. And I go right above my ears and feel all the way around, and I section my hair here. Now, I do my hair a lot of different ways depending on the day. The particular one that I'm going to do today, I'm just going to use mostly all curling iron, maybe even a little bit of my straightener. So first we have this back part. So my hair is all combed, and I'm going to just divide it into little sections. I'm going to show you how to use it, and then I'm probably going to speed up the video while I curl it, because you don't all want to sit here and watch me curl my hair. And sometimes I can do this really fast, sometimes I'm really slow. So first things first, I take my hair, and I have, this is probably a 3/4 inch barrel maybe. Don't quote me on it, but I'll see if I can figure it out, and then I'll post it below the video or in like a subtitle. And then I just take it out, and as I'm turning it, yeah, these earrings were a bad choice. I'm like pumping this the whole way around. And then I leave the last, I can't even tell in this camera, the last little bit out. See how that I left that out? I don't like to curl that. I leave it there, and then you can kind of pull it down at the same time. Then I just go around the bottom of my hair, taking it little, I guess I try to get like this size section. What is that, like an inch? I don't know measurements, like that's not my thing. And I'll just show you on this one, since I was so close to my earring there, I was trying to curl my earring in with it. I just curl and pump it along while I'm curling it. And I leave this last little bit out, because this gives me more of like a beach wave in my opinion, leaving that out. And then I also plugged in my straightener too, and you can go through, I usually do this at the end, but you can pull it and do it straighter too. And I don't do this to every piece. I think that adding some different curls in and different textures, like not having them all look the same, gives your hair great dimension, especially if your hair is really thin like mine. Not thin, but fine like mine. It gives your hair a lot of really good dimension. Also, I'm always clipping and having that clip out and curling back. When you get to the back of your head, it gets kind of trickier. I don't ever spray any hairspray on my hair while it's in a curling iron. I don't like that. Don't fry your hair up, please. I mean, back in the day, maybe I used to do that before I knew, but now I want to try to protect my hair as much as possible. So fine hair will break pretty easily, so you just want to be careful with your hair. I mean, any hair breaks, but I find that my fine hair breaks super easy. And that's why I always use a heat protectant. Always use a heat protectant. Put it on your damp hair and then blow dry, or you know, whatever you do next. Just don't put heat on your hair without a thermal protectant. Okay. And these are by far not going to be perfect. I'm not a hairdresser. I'm not a hairstylist. I have just been asked so many questions about my hair that I said, oh sure, I'll do a hair tutorial. I did respond to people and say I would do that. And then I'm kind of regretting it because I'm like, I don't know how good this is gonna go because I've never done this before. But then again, I've never done a makeup tutorial before I started doing makeup tutorials, and I'm doing that now. So I just turn and pump it, get about 3/4 of your hair in the, I don't ever like clamp it down and hold it, you know, like the old school way of using your curling iron, like you're supposed to, right? This is, and see, now I've lost this piece of hair back here. Let me just get her. Ooh. And we're gonna curl that. And I'm sure sometimes I miss a piece of my hair. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. So I'll show you, I'm gonna take down the next section and show you what I do, and then I'm gonna speed it up. I'm gonna stop talking and speed it up. Okay, bottom's all curled. Sorry if I'm super close to you guys. Now, here's my clip. Taking my clip, putting my hair back down, and I'm gonna look in my mirror here, and I'm going just a little bit above that last, like above my ear. So see this here? I'm just a little bit above here. And now I'm gonna section my hair off here. Okay, pulling all that hair out. I just clip it back up. So this is a great section right here to show you. It's a very fine, small section. I just take my curling iron like this. Hold, pump it, hold, and then I drag it out. And that's just a little bit of a curl right there. Now, for those of you, I do this sometimes, but I don't do it every time. You can use a little fine-tooth comb, lift up your hair, and kind of tease it. You can take like this small bottom section and tease it a little bit if you want more volume. If you do that, and then you put your curling iron on it, turn and twist, turn and twist. See that lift right there? That just gives you a lot more lift and you'll have more volume. You can definitely do that. I do that on occasion just to give myself a little bit more volume. You can also spray that teasing area too with a light hairspray. Don't use like a really heavy hairspray, just use like a light aerosol spray, like a light hold maybe aerosol spray, and you can spray that, but I wouldn't recommend doing anything crazy there with hairspray. So I'm going to keep going through and curling these pieces. I think I found a little one back here that I missed in the bottom. Whoops. I'm going to start, sorry, just got distracted by that piece of hair. I'm going to go through and continue curling around my hair and probably speed this up a bit. And then when I get to the next section, we can talk again, okay? we're back to this next section of hair. Okay, another thing I don't know if you noticed while you're watching me is typically when I curl my hair, I hold my curling iron like this. I don't have it like this, I don't have it like this. I'm usually straight up and down. Sorry, I need that. And so I usually do it straight up and down. I find that's the best way to get your curl, similar to what I have. What I'm getting there is holding it straight up and down to get that kind of beach wave going on. So now we're working towards the next section. You can continue on like this if you want the more volume, you know, teasing it a little bit. And I'll just show you real quick. And you can spray a little of your hairspray on there. Let it cool. Or not let it cool. Let it dry. Don't put your curling iron on that with it hot. Or, oh my goodness. With it wet. Let that hairspray dry. You don't want to sizzle your hair. If you put a hot curling iron, is what I meant to say, on that hairspray, you're going to fry up your hair. Please don't do that. I don't want anybody doing that to their hair. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around my head and do this, because while I do this, if I do them all ahead of time, then I can go back through and curl them while they're drying. And I don't have any particular brand of curling iron that like I recommend or anything. Just have the right barrel size for the type of curls you're trying to achieve. Like sometimes I really want to spend a lot of money and get like the one where I can take off the barrel and have all the different barrel sizes, because I would like to have just one tool and not a bunch. But you could use like a small barrel. You could mix in like different sizes of curls. You could do like a big one and a medium. I think just different sizes always just adds and makes your hair have more volume, and it gives it more, looks like it has more texture. So this is dry. I'm not going to do any sizzling. So again, I'm going to hold my curling iron, and we're going to turn. Well, here comes my dog. He wants to come hang out with me while I do this video. So we're going to turn and pump the iron the whole way around. I think I have been curling my hair this way, I don't know, it seems like I've been doing it forever. I remember in my very first house that my husband and I bought years and years and years ago, my friend came to visit me and she had this gorgeous hairstyle, and I was like, what are you doing with your hair? And she showed me this, and I was like, what? That like was game changer. Now, of course, I've added new techniques to it. I've learned a lot from tutorials too. Like, I mean, but I never would have thought about like pinning up my hair and sectioning it off and, you know, doing what I'm doing. And because I do it so frequently now, because I have such fine hair, I just get more volume. I feel like, whoops, that one just slipped right out of my iron. Sometimes I can pump a little too hard, and that's not what you want to do. I can get more fuller looking hair having it curly. I often wear it curly, but I like to give my hair a break from the heat too. Another thing that helps is when you blow dry your hair, if you have a little bit of natural curl to your hair, just don't use a flat brush. Like I have a brush like this, like a paddle brush. I brush my hair like that a lot, or you know, when I'm blow drying. But if I'm gonna wear it curly, a lot of times I just blow dry it and leave that natural curl in there, because if I'm gonna be wanting it curly and I'm gonna use a bunch of different sizes on it, sometimes I want that little bit of natural curl in there. and then it's its own natural like texture. In the back, who the heck knows what's happening back there? Sometimes my curling iron's like this, sometimes it's like this. I probably go out and people probably look at the front of my hair and they're like, oh, look at those curls. And then they look at the back of my head and they're like, oh, look at that rat's nest. I hope not, but that is quite possible. Okay, so now we're at the very top. And again, I just left it all down. I'm just gonna go around my sections. I'm not gonna tease these ones. I'm just gonna go around. I think that one layer of teasing there, or maybe I did 2 layers, I can't remember now. When I talk and do these things, I have a hard time remembering. I'm just gonna go around my hair and just curl. Same way, grabbing sections of hair. And I'm glad my hair is cooperating today with sectioning. Sometimes I go to section my hair and it's like, I'm like, what are you doing? If you had known me, I don't know, when I was in school, you'd be like, I don't think she should ever give advice on hair and makeup at all, because I wanted to be that girl that always had her hair super cute and nice and the makeup, but I'm telling you what, I had no idea. And back then, we didn't really have this internet and YouTube stuff that y'all do. So it's really hard to learn anything unless somebody's just like right there in your face teaching you. And I didn't have I lived out in the country. I didn't have, I'd like look at people and be like, okay, what do I think she did? Let me tell you, I had some crazy hairstyles. I was spraying my curling iron with hairspray, my hair in it hot. I probably did so much damage to my poor hair back then. I'm so lucky that I even have hair right now. So, and I keep this on a fairly low heat for my hair, just so you know. I don't crank up the heat on my irons. I do just enough to get some curl in it so it'll hold, but I don't hold the heat, turn the heat up. Like this is on 300 right now. That's as high as I will ever go, and sometimes I hit the knob. Okay, so up here, these two bit, this back piece here, I'm gonna split this kind of in half. See that? And just do, again, if you want some top volume, feel free to like tease that up a little bit. I swear it's not like, we're not getting back to the 80s or anything, but for people like me with fine hair, this really helps. I'll let that dry a bit. Dry, dry, dry. That's what kind of takes the longest, is letting your hair dry from the hairspray, because you definitely don't want to put a curling iron in it and hear it. See, hear that? Sizzle. It just did a little bit. Okay, and then put one over here. Again, back of the hair, who knows what's happening. It's hard to hold your curling iron at any particular angle back here. I feel like we need a person that will come and just curl the back of your hair for you. Now, sorry, I'm getting a little warm in here. Oops, get some airflow. I was worried my son is home. Other kids are coming home from school, so my dogs have a tendency to bark around this time because they hear other people's garages opening and doors shutting. Okay, now we just leave this. This nice little 80s poof. I section this usually into 3 sections. 1, 2, I try to get as even as possible so they're all kind of, and then this is my last section. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the beginning I had my hair parted down the middle. I always part my hair down the middle to start, and I usually wear my hair that way most days. Maybe second day, if I have a little of this volume left, or to try to create more volume, I'll flip it to one side or another and not do it down the middle. So we're gonna focus now on this first section. See what's happening here. Here we go. There's that first section. I think that's all of it. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna focus on this section right here. Let me make sure I'm getting all this section. Bear with me here. Like I said, not a hairstylist. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's the rest of that section? Okay. Now we're gonna break this again into two. Again, you can, I'm just kind of doing this as I go. I don't even know. There's one part. Here's the other part. If you get confused too, like I've been doing this so long, I know what I'm doing. You can keep this in a clip, and there's the other one. If it helps you, just keep it in a clip so you know where you're separated. I have like oodles of these things, so my hair can be clipped all over the place. Do we like this look? Yeah, I kind of like that. It's like bunny ears, or I don't know what I'm doing. All right, now, again, we're gonna take this section, just curl it almost to the end, but not quite. We're leaving that part out. See how it's like straight at the end? That's what you want for the type of curls I'm doing today. Same over here. I tried to get these two as even as possible, but I know I've got more hair on this side than I do the other side. There's the other one. Okay. Now we're gonna focus on this section here. Okay, we're gonna divide this one. Hang on. Almost, yeah. We're gonna divide this one in half now. And again, we're just gonna take our curling iron. I don't usually tease my hair towards the front. When I start getting to the front, I just think that might look weird. Maybe you guys might want to do some teasing, but I don't do it. Yeah. I think I've messed up this curl quite a bit here. Don't mind me. This piece shouldn't have been in there and it got stuck in there. Okay. So let me separate this guy out. He's trying to get in the curling iron with them. Let's start over. These little pieces here are trying to get in with him. We don't want that. And if you notice, the more hair you put in the curling iron, the less likely it is to stay in a nice curl. So like these ones, I put more hair in here and I shouldn't have. It's better to keep small sections. The smaller your sections, the better. Okay, now I'm gonna start on this side, and I start in the back and work my way forward. So I'm just taking each piece of hair, keeping it straight up and down, putting my curling iron in at the base. Make sure you don't burn your scalp, but make sure you put your curling iron in at the base of your hair. If you wanted a different type of curl where it was straighter on the top and curlier towards the bottom, then yeah, go ahead and pull it down some. But for what I'm doing today, you want to keep the curling iron closer to the base of the hair. The hair shaft, base of the hair, I don't know. Okay, hang on 1 second, let me divide these up. When I get to this part, I'm usually like dividing. So one piece at a time. And I start to, the closer I get to my face, I start to curl them less and less, okay? So I put, like I was leaving out the bottom part of my hair before. Now I'm leaving like a lot of my hair. I'm just mostly curling this top part because I want to keep it away from my face. But I don't want this like big ringlet in my face either, you know, or this big ringlet on the front. I keep it pretty. And then this piece right here, same thing. You're just really like curling just the top and kind of dragging it down. See how that worked? Okay, now we're gonna go to this side. And since I already showed you, what's this guy doing here? Let me just curl him real quick. He kind of didn't get in that other bunch of hair, so we're gonna curl him real quick. And then I'm just gonna quickly curl this side and speed it up, I think, so it's faster. We're at 28 minutes at this point. Probably less because I will have sped up through the other parts, but okay. So now we're mostly curled, and you see how that's like not that much curl. This side I got. This side is shorter than this side. My hair breaks a lot in the front because it's from, that's where you focus a lot of your heat, usually when you're curling your hair. So I'm just gonna now just kind of go through and loosen up and kind of separate some of these curls. I don't also want like this like broken lookingness up here in the back. So we're just gonna kind of work them together. Same here. Like I said, this is like a very loose curl. Way looser than normal too. Like I usually do, I just like a little wave some days. And you can also, just want to give this part a little bit more curl here. Okay. So I just like just a little bit of wave. Ooh. This is one of the reasons I'm not like a huge fan of teasing my hair, because my hair is fine. I feel like, and I'm in a humid climate, I think sometimes it can look a little frizzy too. So then I will just take my hairspray, and this hairspray I use also like is a good anti-humidity one. Kind of just take my spray, a little bit of this. Now in the front, now that's a light hold. In the front of my hair, I use a hilt because I kind of want to keep it off my face. So I use more hold. Try to keep it off my forehead. And then it's just got a little bit of wave to it. You can add more wave. You can also do a little bit more wave. I know that I didn't do a whole lot right here, but this is a lot of days how I wear my hair. Just a little bit of curl in it, just to give it, excuse me, a little bit of extra oomph. And then this gives me a little bit of volume too. You see how nice this volume is? I also have, sorry I keep reaching in my cabinet, I was totally not prepared, I guess. You can also add, I have this Bumble and Bumble Pret a powder. I really like this. I started using it, I went to a, one of those hair places, probably like Sephora or Ulta, and I was like, I want something that will give me some volume, but it's not gonna be too heavy on my hair. And the girl there recommended this Bumble and Bumble, and I really kind of like it. And you just kind of shake it into your hair a little bit and just work it through. And this is not only a dry shampoo, but it's also a volumizer. And it says too that it's a style extender. You can use whatever products you're most familiar with and like, but I tell you what, most hair you will find is a lot of product. It's a lot more product than it is anything else. It took me a long time to realize that. My hairdresser always told me. I'd come in, I'd be like, I like that hairstyle, this is what I want. He'd be like, that's like 95% product. I'd be like, oh, we don't have to cut my hair like that? No, they're doing that product. So you get more texture and more chunkiness with your hair the more product you use. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope this is the hairstyle you're looking for. I'll try another one another day because I often alternate curling iron and different styling tools. I don't always just use a curling iron. It's honestly kind of rare if I'm just using a curling iron. But this particular hairstyle I was wearing the other day got the most requests of what are you doing with your hair. So y'all like it, so here it is. I hope that you enjoyed this and it was helpful, and DM me if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye.